Hello beloved souls, thank you for tuning into the Spiritual Podcasts channel. This channel is all about good vibes, positive energy, and meaningful conversations. To keep this space welcoming for everyone, we kindly ask that comments stay respectful, kind, and in the spirit of the content shared here. We reserve the right to delete any comments that don't align with this intention. No hard feelings, just protecting the vibe. Thanks for being here and spreading the light. Please be cautious of anyone claiming to represent Spiritual Podcast and asking you for money, donations, or personal information. We will never ask you for money through comments, messages, or DMs. All official updates and content come only from this channel. If you see suspicious activity, please report it immediately. Stay safe and thank you for being part of our community. If you enjoy the video and its content, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Please be kind to other viewers of the channel. The video is about to start.
Welcome back to the deep dive. This is where we really get into complex source material. Could be mainstream, could be, well, more on the fringe like today. And we try to pull out the insights you can actually use, to stay informed.
Right.
Today, we are doing something pretty remarkable, I think. We're diving deep into a whole set of recent channeled messages.
Yeah, these are attributed to a Pleiadian collective.
Pleiadian, okay.
Yeah.
And the topics, wow. Cosmic timelines, activating DNA, and this huge accelerated process they're calling the Crystalline Shift.
It's definitely a deep dive. We're looking at sources describing this massive global transformation.
Okay.
And look, our mission here isn't really to debate where the messages come from, It's about analyzing the content itself.
Right, focusing on the what, not the who.
Exactly. We want to unpack these sources. They're quite detailed, mapping out this accelerated shift, especially leading up to and through 2026.
And translate it right, because these concepts can be pretty out there.
That's the goal. Translate the metaphysical stuff, the energy, the grids, the codes, into something tangible, something you can understand and maybe even apply right now.
Using structure, analogies, making it make sense.
Yeah, helping you get those aha moments.
Okay, let's get into this framework they lay out. The core idea from this Pleiadian collective, it seems really focused.
It is.
They talk about 2026.
Yeah.
But not like it's the end of the world or some, finish line?
No, not an apocalypse scenario. More like critical waypoint. A moment where the intensification of these cosmic energies really hits a new level.
They even use this phrase, checkmate for the dark ones. That sounds dramatic.
It does sound dramatic, yeah. But reading into it, it seems less about a physical battle and more about an energetic shift where maybe lower vibrational tactics just stop working effectively.
Okay, so an energy shift, not necessarily armies clashing.
That seems to be the implication. And importantly, it's not a call to just sit back and wait for it to happen.
Right. They actually say this moment needs us to double down, don't they?
Absolutely. Double down on personal growth, healing, focused intention, everything we can muster. It's active participation.
So what's driving this? What's the engine behind this accelerated timeline? They mentioned something specific.
They do. It's fascinating. They talk about the energy source, calling it the central sun cascade.
Central sun cascade. Okay, break that down.
Imagine this continuous, intensifying stream of cosmic light pouring out from the galactic core, like right from the center of the Milky Way.
And washing over us. Our whole solar system.
Exactly. But it's not just empty light. That's the key point they make. These are described as photonic waves.
Photonic waves, like light particles.
Yeah, but carrying incredibly precise, intelligent data. They call it encodements of solar remembrance.
Encodements of solar remembrance. Wow. That sounds like the light itself has memory or instructions.
That's precisely the implication. It suggests this energy, this light, is specifically designed. It penetrates our atmosphere, our bodies, right down to the cellular level.
To do what? What's the purpose of these encodements?
To activate something they call the inner starseed template.
The starseed template. So something dormant inside us.
Exactly. This cosmic energy bath is meant to stir up ancient original DNA memories. Latent capacities we forgot we had.
So this isn't some vague spiritual concept. It's meant to be almost biological.
Yeah.
Affecting our DNA.
That's how they present it. And they insist this isn't just a forecast for the future. This energy, they say, is measurable. It's here now.
And we should be able to feel it.
Yes. They actually instruct people to learn to feel it. Pay attention to the subtle signs.
Like what? What kind of signs?
It could be subtle internal buzzing, maybe, or sudden waves of warmth, perhaps in the heart area or along the spine, or even just this really intense, sudden pull towards self-improvement, towards truth that feels almost out of the blue.
Okay, so the crystalline shift is the process, the transformation itself.
Yes, the process of this accelerated transformation. And 2026 is framed as the moment when this cascade, this energy wave, really reaches a peak momentum, a critical mass, perhaps.
I get that the energy is building, but, a lot of people are still looking for the moment, the big thing.
Right, the event.
Yeah, exactly. Like a lightning bolt, a huge news headline, one single definitive thing that changes everything. We've all heard about the great event. How do these sources talk about that, this expectation of one big future moment?
That's a really crucial point they address. They actually challenge that whole idea, the concept of a single future great event that you circle on your calendar.
Yeah.
They say that kind of expectation is actually a trap. It keeps you in passive waiting mode.
Ah, okay. So waiting for something to happen instead of making it happen.
Precisely. The truth, they argue, isn't a single point in time. The event is actually a continuous wave of divine frequency.
A wave, not a point.
Yeah, like a living, breathing field that's unfolding right now in this present moment. It's the sum total, the accumulation of every single choice being made collectively and individually.
Wow, okay. That really shifts the power dynamic, doesn't it?
It totally does.
If the event is now, it pulls you out of just passively waiting for something external to save the day.
Right.
And put you right into active co-creation.
Exactly. You become part of the event itself.
But what does active co-creation actually look like?
Yeah.
On a regular Tuesday morning when you're just trying to get through the day? Is it just thinking happy thoughts?
It's much more grounded than that, according to these sources. It's not just wishful thinking. They emphasize that every genuinely loving choice you make,
Okay.
every moment you truly forgive someone or yourself, every time you have an insight, recognize a deeper truth. You are literally adding energy to this wave.
So like adding volume or mass to it.
Yeah, adding to what they call the divine crescendo that is building. Active co-creation means understanding that your own stabilized emotional state, your focused, positive intention, that's literally part of the event's energy structure.
Well, I'm not just observing the wave, I am the wave, in a way.
You are a conscious conductor of this light, yes. If you're just idly waiting for some big flash in the sky, you're actually neglecting the very work that makes sure that when external shifts do happen, they're positive and integrating for you, not just jarring or chaotic.
That makes sense. You're preparing your own system to handle the increased voltage, so to speak.
That's a great way to put it. You're building your capacity to embody the light.
Okay, let's connect that big cosmic light wave down to the really small scale. Inside us, the DNA crystal recode.
Yes.
We hear a lot about how most of our DNA is supposedly dormant or, dismissed as junk DNA.
Right, that's the conventional view.
But these sources are saying something different. They're saying this incoming cosmic light is specifically activating dormant crystalline structures within our DNA.
That's right, crystalline structures. And they argue these structures aren't junk or inactive at all. They were just waiting to be triggered by these incoming photonic waves.
Triggered how? What do they do?
Think of them like incredibly sophisticated microscopic antennas, or maybe tuning forks embedded right there in the DNA helix.
Okay, antennas or tuning forks.
And as this specific light frequency washes over us, these structures start to hum, to vibrate. They're picking up these higher frequencies.
And doing what with them?
Adapting the body, adapting the consciousness to resonate with a new reality, a higher dimension.
Wow. And the purpose behind all this, why reactivate these structures?
The purpose they state is immense. It's the restoration of the original multidimensional human blueprint.
The original blueprint, meaning what we were always meant to be.
The version of us that can operate consciously in our everyday 3D reality and perceive and interact with higher dimensions simultaneously, fully awakened, fully aware.
Multidimensional humans.
Okay.
So if someone listening thinks, okay, maybe this is happening to me, what are the practical signs, the day-to-day stuff they might experience during this recode?
The sources list quite a few, and they're pretty tangible, not just, purely esoteric feelings.
Good. Like what?
Mentally, you might notice things like synchronicities happening way more often, like uncanny coincidences.
Okay, the universe winking at you.
Yeah, exactly. Or a sudden, really noticeable expansion of empathy. Feeling what others are feeling much more vividly, almost like it's your own emotion.
That could be intense.
It can be. Also, spontaneous insights. Like suddenly understanding a problem you've wrestled with for years, just pop, the answer is there.
And physically. Are there physical signs too?
Yes, because the body is literally recalibrating and releasing old, dense energy that doesn't match the new frequency.
So like detox symptoms?
Kind of. Some people report buzzing sensations, tingling, spontaneous rushes of energy, sometimes feeling like intense love or creativity, almost overwhelming. And yeah, sometimes physical symptoms like unexplained aches and pains that come and go, maybe temporary dizziness or feeling off balance, sudden shifts in energy levels, high one moment, exhausted the next.
As the old patterns release and this new crystalline framework settles in.
Exactly. It's all part of what they call the grand remembering at a cellular level.
And the timeline they give suggests this isn't going to be a slow, gradual thing forever. They point to 2025 and especially 2026 as key acceleration points.
They do. They specifically indicate that the activation process will reach entirely new levels through 2025 and into 2026.
And they mention group awakenings. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's fascinating. They foresee moments where large groups of souls, maybe soul families or people resonant on a certain frequency, unlock the next layer of their crystal coding almost simultaneously.
Wow, like a synchronized upgrade.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And they suggest these group moments could be catalyzed or triggered by external cosmic events.
Gotcha.
Significant solar flares, maybe other specific cosmic alignments or energy waves reaching Earth. And they emphasize these events aren't random. They're timed with what they call divine precision.
Time to maximize the effect on consciousness.
That seems to be the idea. It reinforces the collective nature of this whole shift. It's not just individuals waking up in isolation.
How does that work? How does one group waking up help others?
Think of resonance. When a critical mass of individuals hits a certain frequency threshold together, they create this powerful, coherent energy field.
Okay.
That field instantly makes it easier for others who are right on the cusp, right on the edge of their own activation, to tip over into it. It stabilizes the frequency for everyone.
Like tuning forks making each other vibrate.
Exactly. That's why they often encourage things like collective meditation or intention setting during highly charged cosmic moments, eclipses, solstices, powerful full moons.
Because the combined intention acts like a booster.
Like a booster rocket for this DNA recode process, amplifying the signal.
So what's the practical advice here, given this potential intensity?
The sources are really clear on this. Rigorous self-care becomes non-negotiable.
Meaning?
Deep hydration, lots of pure water, adequate rest, letting the body integrate these changes, and paying attention to food, high vibration, nutritious, light-filled foods.
Why the emphasis on food and water?
Because, as they describe it, you are literally becoming more crystalline in your physical structure. That requires a cleaner, purer substrate to build upon. You're upgrading the hardware.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've got the cosmic energy source, the central sun cascade,
Right.
and how it affects our internal human architecture, the DNA crystal recode. But this shift isn't just happening to us or in us, it's happening to the planet too, right? Beneath our feet.
Absolutely. The sources strongly emphasize that Earth herself is a living, conscious being.
Not just a rock we live on.
No, definitely not. And she's undergoing her own ascension journey, her own upgrade process. They label this the galactic grid shift.
The galactic grid shift. Okay, what does that involve?
If you think about Earth having its own energetic infrastructure.
Like ley lines and energy vortexes.
Exactly. Those grids plus her electromagnetic field, her magnetic field, all of that is actively reconfiguring right now. Shifting
to align with what?
To align with these higher cosmic harmonics coming from the central sun and beyond. It's like the whole planet is being retuned.
Retuned like an instrument.
Yeah, tuned to play in a higher key within the galactic symphony, as one source puts it.
That's a beautiful image. Why is this planetary retuning necessary?
Because the ascending planet creates the foundational environment. It provides the stable, supportive, energetic platform needed to hold these much higher frequencies.
The frequencies that the newly recoded multidimensional humans need to thrive.
Precisely. The planet and its inhabitants are ascending together in synergy. One supports the other.
When we talk about Earth's frequency changing, there's a term that often comes up, the Schumann resonance. Do the sources mention this?
They do. They specifically mention fluctuations in the Schumann resonance as a key indicator.
For listeners who aren't familiar, what is the Schumann resonance, basically?
You can think of it like the Earth's natural heartbeat. It's a set of specific low-frequency electromagnetic waves trapped in the cavity between the Earth's surface and the ionosphere.
And it's usually pretty stable.
For millennia, yeah, the fundamental frequency held steady right around 7.83 hertz. Very stable.
But now,
the sources say that rhythm is becoming much more erratic. It's spiking higher, changing, becoming less predictable.
and this is direct manifestation of this galactic grid shift.
Yes. Imagine a drum beat that was perfectly steady for ages, suddenly starting to skip, speed up, slow down, add complex new rhythms. That's what's happening energetically.
What are the observable effects of this changing heartbeat?
Well, some researchers connect it to changes in weather patterns, potentially tectonic activity, but the sources also point to biological effects.
Like what?
Changes in migratory patterns for birds and animals that rely heavily on sensing the Earth's magnetic field. That field is shifting, so their navigation gets wonky.
Okay.
And for humans, especially sensitive individuals, this is where that feeling of dizziness or disorientation comes in. Ungroundedness, intense time compression where time feels like it's speeding up or skipping.
So if you're feeling dizzy or weirdly ungrounded for no apparent reason, it might not just be you. It could be you feeling the planet physically adjusting her magnetic field.
That's exactly what they suggest. It's a physical symptom of frequency mismatch. Your internal system is trying, sometimes struggling, to synchronize with the planet's new rhythm, which is higher but still stabilizing.
Wow, so what's the remedy? You're feeling that planetary wobble.
The remedy they offer is incredibly simple, but also profound. Ground yourself. Connect directly with the Earth.
Wow.
Physically walk barefoot on the grass or soil. Meditate leaning against a tree. Even just consciously using deep, slow breathing to visualize pulling energy down from the cosmos through your body and anchoring it deep into the planet's core.
So consciously syncing up with the Earth's changing frequency.
Yes, reestablishing that resonant connection. And the sources stress that as we move closer to 2026, these ascension upgrades for the planet become the new normal, the new baseline. So integrating, flowing with this steady upward shift will start to feel more natural over time. The wobbles should decrease as the new grid locks in.
Okay, that's helpful. Let's shift gears a bit now. From the sort of technical mechanics, the light, the DNA, the grids, to the emotional and psychological side of this.
Yes, the human experience of it all.
Because the Pleiadian sources seem very upfront that this accelerated shift, it's not exactly a gentle walk in the park, is it?
Not at all. They're very honest about the intensity. They use a really powerful metaphor to describe it. They frame the whole ascension process as passing through a crystalline birth canal.
A birth canal, wow.
Yeah, and they describe it as messy but radiantly necessary.
That analogy is instantly understandable, isn't it? The pressure, the narrowness.
Exactly. Just like an infant is squeezed through that incredibly narrow, high-pressure passage to be born. They say our collective consciousness is being pressed, squeezed out of the tight constraints of 3D thinking, 3D limitations.
Into what?
Into a new, boundless 5D reality. A reality based on light, on heart-centered truth, on unity consciousness.
Okay, so that image makes the current turmoil make a lot more sense. All the chaos we see globally, the internal struggles people feel.
The pressure, the challenges, the upheavals, yeah. The rapid cycling through intense emotion.
These are the contractions.
They're the contractions of consciousness, preparing to give birth to a higher state of being. It's the inevitable result when immense pressure meets old, dense material that needs to transform or break down.
So we shouldn't fear the intensity.
The sources say, don't fear them. Recognize them as confirmation that new life, a new reality, is imminent. But this birth canal phase requires purging.
Purging what?
Everything that doesn't fit through the opening. Old traumas held in the body or psyche. Deeply ingrained limiting beliefs about ourselves and the world. Unprocessed emotional density, grief, anger, fear that's been stuck.
It's all surfacing with intensity now because it has to clear out.
It has to clear the way. You can't carry the old baggage into the new reality. But they also offer really deep reassurance alongside this.
Which is?
That the pain of this process, the feeling of density and darkness we might be transmuting right now, it will feel temporary. It will fade quickly once we emerge.
Like the pain of childbirth fading when the baby arrives.
Exactly like that. The relief and the joy of the new reality will overshadow the memory of the struggle to get there.
Okay, given that intense purging and the contractions, we absolutely have to talk about handling the emotions that come up.
Yes.
The intense anger, the fear, the sorrow that people are feeling so strongly right now. The sources have a specific take on this, right? Emotional alchemy.
They do, and this section is so crucial because it fundamentally reframes how we view our emotions.
Yeah.
Instead of seeing intense emotions as flaws or signs of weakness or something to be suppressed or fixed, they view them as sacred messengers.
Sacred messengers.
Yes, and powerful energetic tools. Tools for profound healing and growth if we learn how to work with them consciously.
So each emotion is like a key, or a form of energy.
A form of energy, exactly. An energy that needs to be acknowledged, understood, and transformed, not just pushed down or ignored.
And the method they suggest.
Approach each emotion, even the really uncomfortable ones, with deep curiosity and unconditional love, like you're meeting an important informant. And then consciously choose how to respond to the energy rather than just reacting automatically based on old patterns.
Okay, let's get specific. This is where the practical application comes in. They talk about specific transmutations. What about anger? If anger surges up, what do we do besides suppress it or lash out?
Right. The instruction is don't suppress it, but don't let it control you either. Channel it. Transmute it into passion and clarity about what needs to change.
How does that actually work? How you turn anger into passion?
It happens by consciously redirecting the energy's frequency. Anger, they explain, often carries a lot of power. It can be destructive if uncontrolled, or it can lead to stagnation if suppressed.
Yeah.
But if you look underneath the anger, you often find crystal clear clarity, a signal that something is fundamentally unjust or untrue or misaligned with your soul.
Okay, so you recognize the message within the anger.
Yes. And then you consciously take that raw energy, that power, and you transmute it. You redirect it into sustained, focused, peaceful passion for creating positive, constructive change. You shift the frequency from destructive heat to focused light.
That makes sense. Shifting from fighting against to creating for it.
Exactly. And what about the other heavy hitters? Fear and sorrow.
Yeah, what's the alchemy for those?
If fear rises up, the invitation is to see it not just as something scary, but as a signpost. It highlights the very area where your courage is needed, where your power is waiting to be reclaimed.
So fear points to the next lesson.
It's a spotlight on where growth is needed. It's asking you to step up. And sorrow. Sorrow is not something to be avoided or rushed through.
No.
No, sorrow, when it's fully felt, fully honored without judgment, is described as carving deeper channels within us.
Carving channels for what?
For compassion, for wisdom,
Yeah.
for empathy. It expands our capacity to hold light because it expands our understanding of density and loss. It forges a diamond of resilience from the coal of pain.
Wow. So feeling these difficult emotions consciously actually makes us stronger, more capable.
Absolutely. It reframes the entire emotional landscape. The lead of injustice or anger transmutes into the gold of clear, righteous action. The heavy weight of fear becomes the fuel for courage. The darkness of sorrow dissolves into the pearl of deep empathy and wisdom.
And mastering this emotional alchemy is key for the coming years, especially around 2026.
It's presented as absolutely crucial because those individuals who learn how to do this, how to feel intense emotions without being totally swept away, how to transform the energy constructively, they become anchors.
Anchors for others.
Yes. Steady beacons, the sources call them. Anchors of calm amidst the chaos, both personally and globally. They radiate a sense of peace and stability that others can literally draw strength from, maybe without even realizing why they feel better around that person.
Just by holding their own frequency.
Exactly. Their regulated nervous system and transformed emotional energy create a calming field.
Okay, talking about fear specifically.
Yeah,
It's probably the most pervasive, maybe the most paralyzing emotion for many people.
for sure.
The Pleiadians apparently dedicated a specific segment to it, rewriting our relationship with fear. They call it the Fear as an Ally program.
Yes.
Now, that could sound a bit like spiritual bypassing, like, oh, just make friends with your terror. How do we approach fear as an ally without dismissing how truly awful and paralyzing it can feel?
That's the critical distinction, isn't it? It's not about pretending fear feels good. It's about changing our relationship to it. We're urged to stop seeing fear purely as an enemy we have to conquer or destroy.
And start seeing it as
a highly sensitive, highly dedicated informant, like an internal advisor.
an informant. What's it informing us about?
Fear, they explain, is a deeply ingrained survival program. Its function is to activate and highlight aspects of our life that are out of alignment with our safety or our soul's path. Or sometimes to show us a potential negative future outcome based on our current trajectory, giving us a chance to change course.
So it's not meant to stop us in our tracks.
Its purpose isn't to stop us, but to educate us. to make us pause and pay attention. It's like a teacher pointing urgently at a specific sentence in the lesson plan that we've been skimming over.
Okay. This requires a very specific action in the moment when fear or panic hits, doesn't it? What's the instruction?
The instruction is very clear and actionable. The moment you feel fear rising, you must pause. Don't just react. Take a deep breath, or several, and then engage with the energy directly. Ask the fear internally, what are you showing me right now? What is it that I really need to see here?
Asking the fear itself.
Yes. This simple act shifts you instantly from feeling like a victim of the fear to being a conscious inquirer into its message.
And what might it be showing us?
Maybe it's revealing a hidden truth about a situation or relationship we've been avoiding. Maybe it's sharpening our discernment, helping us navigate a tricky situation more wisely. For people who identify as starseeds, they say fear can often heighten intuition and foresight, acting almost like a multi-dimensional alarm system, warning of subtle energies.
And the transformation happens when we actually receive and accept the information fear is offering.
Exactly. When you welcome it as a guide, even though it's uncomfortable, its paralyzing force starts to shift. It can actually turn into what they call a propelling wind at your back.
How so?
Because once you understand the message, you gain clarity. And clarity fuels courage. You know what you need to do or what you need to avoid. The sting, the panic gets neutralized because you've extracted the valuable information.
So the goal isn't to eliminate fear, which sounds impossible anyway.
Right, not in a dynamic changing reality.
But to learn how to respond with wisdom and courage whenever that fear signal pops up on our internal dashboard.
Precisely. Neutralize its paralyzing effect by accepting its informational value.
Yeah.
You turn that internal resistance into forward momentum. And that skill, they say, will be invaluable for navigating the rapid changes and new choices presenting themselves as we approach 2026.
Okay, mastering that internal navigation, our emotions, our fear response, it seems necessary because when we look outward at the collective world, wow,
yeah.
we see so much turmoil. Political polarization, social instability, crazy climate events. It can really feel like everything is just falling apart.
It absolutely can feel that way. It looks chaotic.
But the sources offer a different perspective here too, right?
Yeah.
A reframe they call the cosmic kitchen.
Yes, and it's such a helpful analogy. They ask us to make a radical shift in perspective. What looks like collapse, what feels like destruction, is actually just a grand mixing of ingredients.
Ingredients for what?
For a completely new creation. The new earth cake, as they playfully call it.
A new earth cake. I like that. So humanity is mid-bake.
Exactly. We're mid-bake, and the heat is definitely turned up high right now. That's why everything feels so intense.
Okay, I need more on this analogy. What exactly are the ingredients being mixed? And what's melting like butter in this cosmic oven?
The ingredients being vigorously mixed are all the potentials, all the possibilities, all the timelines converging, the things melting. Those are the old structures, the rigid frameworks of 3D limitation.
Like what specifically?
Think about it. Political systems based on separation and conflict. Financial systems built on debt, scarcity, and control. Ego patterns based on ruthless competition instead of cooperation. Hierarchical beliefs that say one group is better than another. All that density is being heated up.
And the chaos, the exposure of corruption, the friction we see everywhere, that's the mixing process.
That's the heat and the mixing. Things have to break down. Old forms have to dissolve and appear maybe formless, even chaotic, for a time before the new structure, the cake, can rise and set properly.
The universe likes order, but creation often requires temporary disorder first.
That's exactly the principle. And in this cosmic kitchen, what's the role of the light worker? The conscious individual who's aware of this process. Do we need to be out there stirring the pot, running for office, leading protests?
What do the sources say?
The role they describe is actually crucial, but maybe more subtle than we might think. It's primarily about holding the frequency, holding the vision.
Holding the vision of the finished cake, the harmonious world.
Yes. Keeping that blueprint clear in your mind and heart. And simultaneously actively participating in the mixing through your own energy.
How?
Every time you personally choose kindness over reacting with anger, every time you generate hope in yourself or others instead of falling into despair, you are adding vital ingredients to the collective mix.
Like adding the sweetness and leavening, as they put it.
Exactly. You're helping the cake rise with lightness. You hold the high-frequency template, which helps the emerging new structures stabilize in a coherent, harmonious way rather than collapsing back into density.
So by 2026, the idea is that this mixture will be further along, The baking process will be more obvious.
That's the suggestion, that the cracks in the old facade will be wider and more people will start to smell the delicious aroma of something truly new baking in that cosmic oven. It requires patience, though.
And faith. Faith in the process, in the divine blueprint, and maybe in the collective human soul's ability to rise.
Absolutely. And while we're navigating all this mixing and heat, there's something else guiding us becoming more prominent.
Yeah.
The increase in synchronicities. Meaningful coincidences. The sources really emphasize that this is becoming a primary language of guidance leading into 2026.
Synchronicities.
Yeah.
Yeah. That moment you think of an old friend and boom, they call you right then.
Yeah.
Or you ask for a sign and you see the exact phrase you needed on a billboard 5 minutes later.
Right. Those uncanny moments, they call these cosmic winks, encoded messages directly from your higher self or your guidance team.
Confirming what?
Confirming you're on the right track.
Yeah.
Or gently nudging you in a specific direction. They call it the soul's GPS.
The soul's GPS. I like that too. Why are they increasing now?
Because the veil between dimensions is thinning. The planet's frequency is rising. As a result, manifestation happens faster, and communication from your higher self comes through more clearly. There's less static on the line, so to speak.
And we can amplify this. Make the GPS work better.
Yes, simply by paying attention, by acknowledging these synchronicities when they happen, saying internally, okay, thank you, I see that, I'm listening. When you do that, you essentially tune the receiver. You calibrate your guidance system to a finer degree.
And then more guidance flows. More precise breadcrumbs on the trail.
Exactly. This is especially important, they say, for those who feel they have a specific mission or purpose here. This is how their galactic family, their higher guides, leave clues and confirmations for them.
And what about the collective effect? You mentioned earlier that individual awakenings affect the group. Do synchronicities have a collective impact too?
A profound one. They predict that as we move towards and into 2026, these collective synchronicities, meaningful patterns happening for large groups of people, simultaneously will become so common, so uncanny, so interwoven.
That they become impossible to ignore, even for skeptics.
That's the idea. It reaches a tipping point of awareness. Even people who weren't previously open to spiritual ideas will start noticing the impossible timings, the meaningful patterns, and begin to realize, okay, wait a minute. Maybe things aren't just random.
Maybe something bigger is orchestrating events.
Exactly. And this realization isn't meant to be scary. It's framed as a gentle mass awakening, a way to reassure people that the universe is inherently intelligent and benevolent, even when the surface looks chaotic like that cosmic kitchen.
That heightened sense of timing, of orchestration, seems to lead right into another really fascinating concept they discuss. The changing nature of time itself.
Yes. As consciousness expands, the old rules start to bend.
They talk about the multiverse tapestry and time braiding. What does that mean? Linear time blurring.
It's a complex idea, but vital for understanding the shift. Basically, our souls aren't confined to just one single storyline, moving strictly from past to present to future.
Okay.
As our consciousness expands beyond the limits of 3D perception, we start to glimpse a more fluid reality. We begin to perceive that all moments past, present, future, all possibilities are actually interwoven. They exist simultaneously in the eternal now.
Whoa. So parts of my soul, aspects of my being, are living other lives right now. In different dimensions or timelines.
That's the concept. Not necessarily your entire consciousness focused there, but aspects of your larger soul awareness are having concurrent experiences across the multiverse.
That is seriously mind-bending. How would we even experience that? What are the practical signs?
As the shift accelerates, we get little glimpses, little bleed-throughs, maybe sudden, vivid memories of something that clearly didn't happen in this life. Or incredibly detailed, realistic dreams of other lifetimes, other worlds. Feeling an inexplicable deep connection to a specific historical era, or even another planet or civilization like you know it intimately.
And they call people who consciously work with this time braiders.
Yes. Someone who learns to consciously access and integrate the wisdom or skills from these other concurrent soul experiences.
To do what? Why access that?
To draw knowledge or innovative solutions or even latent talents from what appears to be a past or future life and apply it directly to solve challenges we're facing right here, right now on Earth.
Give me an example.
Okay. Maybe an aspect of your soul had an experience as a brilliant ecological engineer on another planet long ago. As a time braider, you might suddenly download an idea, a technique for water purification or soil regeneration that seems completely novel here but feels deeply familiar to you.
So you're literally braiding timelines, bringing solutions from one thread of the tapestry into another.
Exactly. This is part of what they mean by the collapse of time into a singular now moment. It's accelerating, especially through 2026, and it makes the individual potentially feel incredibly resourceful, tapped into a much larger pool of wisdom.
And is there a specific stream of memory that's coming online now?
Yes, they highlight one in particular, the resurgence of the Lemurian memory stream.
Lemuria, or Mu, the legendary ancient continent often associated with harmony, crystal technology, heart-centered living.
Right. And the sources stress this isn't just about romanticizing a lost golden age. This recall is functional. It's specific guidance being resurfaced now for the new Earth construction phase.
Why Lemurian memory specifically? What's the function?
Because the energetic blueprint they embodied and left behind is one of profound unity, sophisticated cooperation, deep connection to the Earth, and mastery of energy and consciousness, all based on living from the heart.
And many people activating now are remembering this.
For many starseeds, yes. Memories of that time, that frequency, are returning. You might feel it as this inexplicable, deep longing for true utopian community, or an intense, almost sacred love for the ocean, for whales and dolphins. Or maybe you're just instinctively drawn to crystals, feeling like they're old friends, like you know how to work with them.
Because the Lemurians used crystals extensively.
Masterfully, according to these sources, for storing vast amounts of information in crystalline matrices, for healing, for energy generation using sound and light.
So activating these memories gives us like an internal software upgrade for building the new Earth.
It acts as an embedded blueprint, a template for balance, unity, sustainable living, peaceful cooperation wisdom that's immediately relevant for designing new communities, new systems, new heart-centered technologies today.
And by 2026.
The sources suggest this trickle of Lemurian memory could become more like a flood for many. Soul groups who shared lifetimes then might start reconnecting now, recognizing each other, sharing that common vision rooted in those ancient times.
A true homecoming.
A homecoming, exactly. The spirit of Lemuria unity, love, crystalline cooperation, living again through us to help birth this new world.
Okay, so as we emerge from this intense birth canal, having purged the old and maybe reconnected with ancient wisdom, what does humanity look like? What's the image for the next phase?
They offer a really beautiful, hopeful archetype for this. The cosmic child.
The cosmic child, like humanity being reborn.
Exactly. Imagine emerging from that intense pressure, like a newborn, eyes wide with wonder, full of vitality, carrying an innocence because the heavy burdens of the past have been significantly lightened.
Stepping into 5D reality.
Stepping into what they describe as a boundless 5D wonder. A reality where colors seem brighter, the felt sense of life force is more tangible, love feels stronger, more immediate, less conditional.
But like any child learning to walk, there will be stumbles, right? We won't suddenly be perfect ascended masters overnight.
Absolutely not. Humanity will be learning to walk again, learning to use its newfound abilities as conscious creators. There will be stumbles, missteps. But the key difference is the resilience.
Resilience gained from what?
From integrating those higher frequencies, from the emotional alchemy work. It allows for much quicker recovery from setbacks. Less getting stuck in blame or victimhood. More that childlike ability to fall down, maybe cry for a second, and then get right back up and try again.
And collectively, we'll see this reflected in society.
The idea is yes. We'll start displaying more of that youthful flexibility and openness. Old grudges, rigid dogmas, historical conflicts. They'll find it harder and harder to stick because the rising energy simply won't sustain those lower, heavier vibrations for long.
Humanity collectively embodying this child of the stars archetype, ready to explore the playground of a higher dimension.
Without the cynicism, the baggage, the limitations of the old 3D self-image.
Okay, let's tackle another big one, the solar flash. This concept comes up all the time in spiritual circles.
It does.
And it's often depicted, sometimes feared, as this huge external event, Maybe catastrophic, maybe blissful, but definitely external.
Right, like a giant wave of energy from the sun hitting Earth.
But the Pleiadian sources offer a pretty different take, don't they? They redefine it.
They offer a really important redefinition, shifting the focus. They argue the solar flash is less about some external cataclysmic fire and much more deeply connected to the collective inner transformation happening within humanity.
Okay, how?
They use a powerful metaphor. The solar flash is like the collective pineal gland igniting on a global scale.
The pineal gland. The third eye in the center of the head. Often linked to spiritual sight, intuition.
Exactly, that gateway. It's being intensely stimulated, they say, by all this incoming cosmic light, by the rising Schumann resonance. Humanity's collective third eye is starting to blink open after a very, very long sleep.
So the flash is internal, an enlightenment from within happening simultaneously for many.
That's the core idea. The enlightenment many seek out there is actually blossoming in here, collectively. The solar flash, in this context, represents the perfect synchronized interplay between the intensified external cosmic light and human consciousness reaching a critical threshold of energetic harmony and awakening.
So it's not necessarily one big, blinding, potentially scary external flash.
Less likely a single jarring event, and more like maybe a series of pulses, or perhaps a quiet but profound click within mass human awareness, a collective aha moment.
That synchronizes with a pulse from the sun or the galactic center.
Yes, a moment of resonance that massively accelerates the awakening process for everyone, making the higher reality much more tangible and obvious.
That feels less scary and more empowering. It means we're not just passively waiting for the sun to do something to us.
Exactly. We are active participants. We can actually prepare ourselves, optimize our own internal receiving mechanisms.
What do they suggest for the pineal gland?
Nurturing it. Through practices like meditation, getting natural sunlight on the face, safely of course, drinking pure water, and consciously reducing toxins like fluoride, heavy metals that are known to calcify it.
So basically cleaning the antenna.
Cleaning and tuning the antenna, yes. So you're ready to consciously catch the wave of illumination when those peak pulses arrive. You're prepared to integrate the light smoothly.
Okay. This leads to understanding ourselves as creators of our reality, not just through thoughts, but through our energy field. They call it the masterpiece of the auric field.
Yes, the auric field, or aura.
How should we understand the aura in this context? Not just pretty colors, right?
No, much more functional. They frame it powerfully. Your aura is your personal energetic canvas.
My canvas.
Yes, and your life force, your thoughts, your dominant emotions, those are the paints you're using, whether you realize it or not.
So my mood literally paints my energy field.
Constantly. Love, joy, peace. They create brilliant, vibrant, coherent hues on your canvas. Sustained resentment, fear, judgment. They create murky, dense, heavy shadows that can feel sticky.
And the call to mastery is?
To stop painting unconsciously, just reacting to life, and to start consciously choosing the colors, directing your energy, your focus, your emotions with purpose to create the masterpiece you want your field to be.
How much does my personal auric masterpiece really affect the world, though? If my aura is a mess one day, does it matter that much?
According to these sources, immensely. They stress the power of a single, coherent field. One aligned individual, simply by keeping their own auric field clear, vibrant, stable, and focused on peace, can literally shift the energetic balance of a room, an office, even a neighborhood. They radiate that coherence outwards, subtly uplifting others without even trying, just by being.
So that old idea that one person can't make a difference is totally wrong in energetic terms.
Completely shattered. In energy terms, one clear, stable, high-frequency beacon is incredibly potent, far more influential than thousands of scattered, chaotic, or low-frequency intentions.
And they suggest that by 2026, our sensitivity to these fields will increase.
Yes, significantly. More people will likely start to actually see or at least strongly sense the auras of others. It moves from being a purely psychic skill towards becoming a more common human sensory experience.
Wow, and that would change everything, especially healing.
Totally. Healing work will be increasingly understood as art restoration on the canvas of the aura.
Art restoration, I love that.
Healers will be working more directly with light, sound, frequency, intention, consciously shifting the colors, clearing the density, restoring the coherence and brilliance of the energy field, knowing that physical health follows energetic balance.
It's a complete paradigm shift. Now, interestingly, they say this mastery, this clearing of our field, isn't just achieved through serious spiritual practice. It's also achieved through joy.
Yes, this is such a key point. The festive light infusion.
Festive light infusion, what is that?
They emphasize that joy, laughter, celebration. These aren't just frivolous side effects of a good life. They are essential states for receptivity and creation.
Essential how?
Joy is described as a primary carrier wave for higher frequencies.
It's a carrier wave, like on the radio.
Exactly like that. Think about moments of genuine collective joy, maybe at a festival, a wedding, a concert, even just a moment of shared, heartfelt laughter with friends. What happens?
You feel open, defenses are down.
Precisely. Your physical body relaxes, your energetic defenses lower, your heart opens, your spirit feels light and receptive. Higher dimensional beings, guides, even your own higher self apparently utilize these high-frequency moments. They can send downloads, DNA activating codes, packets of information, healing frequencies much more easily then.
Because the signal gets through clearly.
Yes, these beneficial energies ride on the carrier wave of joy because your system is wide open and resonant with light in that state.
So ascension isn't just about gritting your teeth and purging trauma 24/7.
Definitely not. Celebration, finding joy, cultivating lightness, these are actually powerful spiritual acts. They say we slip most effortlessly into higher dimensions during authentic moments of joy.
And we ground those higher frequencies back into our physical reality more easily too.
Exactly. Joy becomes an essential nutrient for the ascending soul. It makes the delivery and integration of light much smoother, bypassing a lot of the mental resistance or ego-based trying that can happen when we're too focused on fixing ourselves.
That's a relief to hear. Okay, all these threads, the light, the DNA, the planet, emotions, time, energy fields, joy, they all seem to tie back to one overarching principle: interconnectedness.
Absolutely, that's the foundation.
They talk about quantum prayer currents and the cosmic symphony.
Yes. This is the deep realization that nothing is isolated. Everything affects everything else.
How does that work on a practical level? My thoughts affect someone miles away.
In subtle ways, yes. Every action, every word spoken with intention, even a single strongly held thought or feeling sends ripples out into the collective field, quantifiable ripples.
And quantum prayer. It's not necessarily about traditional formalized prayer.
Not necessarily, though that can be powerful too. It's more about the subtle waves of sincere intention and love that we send out constantly. A genuine smile offered to a stranger. A quiet internal act of forgiveness towards someone who hurt you. A moment of deep, compassionate understanding for someone's suffering.
These small acts have a quantum reach.
They spread far beyond their apparent physical reach, weaving new, more harmonious patterns into the collective aura, the collective consciousness field.
And the cumulative effect of billions of these small positive ripples
reaches a critical momentum. The sources suggest this is a key part of the tipping point expected around 2026. The collective field becomes so saturated with light and coherence that the old fear-based structures simply cannot sustain themselves easily anymore.
And the cosmic symphony part.
That's the metaphor for our individual roles within this interconnected whole. Each soul is a unique instrument playing a unique melody.
And my melody is needed.
Absolutely essential for the completeness of the symphony. Awakening means starting to sense this interconnectedness more directly, maybe feeling global strife or global joy more empathically, almost physically. Knowing when the collective note feels off-key or when it hits a moment of harmony.
So the goal isn't to all play the same note.
No. The goal is to play your unique soul song with clarity, confidence, and love, learning how to harmonize your unique frequency with the frequencies of others, contributing your essential part to the magnificent, evolving symphony of creation. Not isolating yourself, feeling separate, but aligning with the whole orchestra.
Wow. This has been quite a journey through this material. We went from the huge scale, the central sun cascade,
right, hitting our atmosphere,
down to the microscopic, activating our DNA,
driving us through that intense crystalline birth canal,
learning emotional alchemy, befriending fear,
seeing chaos as the cosmic kitchen, using synchronicity as our GPS,
remembering ancient timelines like Lemuria, embodying the cosmic child,
understanding the solar flash as an inner ignition, mastering our auric field,
and realizing the power of joy and quantum interconnectedness. It's a lot.
It is a very comprehensive blueprint they offer, and the core instruction, weaving through it all, remains quite simple at its heart. The cosmic blueprint of service is activating within us now, but service isn't drudgery or self-sacrifice in the old sense. It's aligned service, the service that flows naturally when you step into your authentic self, sharing your unique gifts, doing what brings you profound joy and fulfillment.
So becoming my highest self is the service.
That is the fundamental service. By doing your inner work, by stabilizing your frequency, by embodying these higher principles of love, joy, and unity, you become one of those stable, unwavering pillars of light.
Anchoring the new reality.
Anchoring it in the midst of the collective chaos. You serve as a living bridge between the higher dimensions and Earth, just by being your most authentic, light-filled self.
And as we navigate these intense years, particularly coming up to 2026, there was that one final metaphor they offered for the process itself.
Ah, yes, the cosmic car wash.
The cosmic car wash. Tell us about that again. It feels like a good takeaway.
It really is. It's a way to frame all the challenges, the emotional intensity, the physical symptoms, the density surfacing for review.
Don't resist it.
Don't resist it. See it like you're going through a very thorough, high-pressure cosmic car wash. It might feel intense, maybe uncomfortable, getting blasted from all angles.
Yeah.
But its purpose is purely cleansing. It's designed to strip away all the old grime, the mud, the density, the trauma you've accumulated over lifetimes.
So when discomfort arises, the thought should be,
Okay, another spot being cleaned. This is just the high-pressure wash cycle. I'll relax, breathe, and surrender to this process.
that perspective shift from resisting the scrubbing to cooperating with it makes all the difference.
It allows the cleansing to happen much more quickly and efficiently. You're not fighting the process. You ensure you emerge out the other side lighter, brighter, integrated, and with that brilliant shine, ready for the new reality, especially by the time the energies peak around 2026.
Surrender to the cosmic car wash.
Yeah.
That's a powerful, practical piece of advice from this complex material. Thank you so much for guiding us through this today. It's been challenging, but also incredibly hopeful.
It has been my pleasure. It's profound material to explore. And as you, our listener, continue to integrate this knowledge, navigating your own journey through these transformative times, we want to leave you with that final provocative thought.
Right, something to mull over, drawn directly from these Pleiadian sources.
Given their assertion that Starship memory codes are activating now, potentially allowing you access to latent abilities, forgotten skills, knowledge from other timelines, other aspects of your soul,
Yeah.
ask yourself this: what specific skill, talent, or piece of wisdom do you currently possess something that maybe came remarkably easily to you, feels deeply innate, almost like you didn't have to learn it in this life, what feels not quite from here? And what current challenge, either in your personal life or in the wider world, might that specific, unique, perhaps otherworldly skill be perfectly designed to help solve?
Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to sharing more with you soon. Until next time, take care and have a wonderful and blessed day.